Hello everybody, we're live and direct from the interwebs, and this is Fight Night, or actually Fight Club, excusez-moi. Usually there are Fight Nights on Thursdays, whereas this is the Fight Club on a Friday of all the possible evenings of the week. Tonight we're gonna have a very special round of games, at least two, maybe perhaps more. We shall see. We have NWE, so New World Orders versus Team UK. And these are the pairings for today. We have Tukted Gut on Sports Metal versus Peter, also known as Motion Blur. And he's going to be playing 419. But before we get there, of course, there's going to be quite a bunch of different things to talk about. Because, you know, well, this is not the only thing happening nowadays, right? I hope you're all doing fine. And hello to the people in the chat, slowly warming up. Yeah, today we're gonna be talking about a bunch of things before we get there. So I'm just gonna pull things up on my screen because those things have to be pulled up. Simply because we have a ton of events coming up. So if you are up for playing tomorrow, and I don't think these events have been cancelled or not moved into online just yet. I'm actually uncertain. So if you hear me saying something about an event and it's not happening, please shout. But I think we may have a bunch of store championships coming up tomorrow. There is the Ottawa Store Championship, the Gent Store Championship, or we probably going to say that's Gent. The South San Store Championship as well in San Diego, but that's probably going to be happening online. I don't know. Well, we shall see. I'm checking the pages right now, and just to make sure that these events are happening. I don't see any cancellations or messages about them not happening on Always Be Running. We also have the illustrious Aldershot GNK, and I am expecting to play there. It's going to be happening early-ish or midday-ish actually, so I would say early morning for some Europeans like myself, and midday for some other Europeans like the people organizing it. The Aldershot GNK definitely happening online, brought to you by the majestic team of the People's Champion, Swifty and Rotash, who's probably going to be doing some streaming, so I'm looking forward to that as well. They are nice chaps who are going to be collecting money for, well actually they're not going to be collecting, they just don't accept any payments, but they do organize this GNK to well, get some money for charity. So if you want to drop a coin or two for Doctors Without Borders, you're more than welcome. All the details on the Aldershot GNK page on what's his name? Always Be Running as well. Always Be Talking, that should be me, right? Or always be thinking about what you're going to say next. We also have on the 25th the Clutch City Grid, a virtual GNK happening in Houston, and I'm not 100% sure just yet if it's going to be open for everybody. This is probably open mostly for the Houston group, which is absolutely fair and whatnot. I mean, hey, if you're organizing a regional thing or a local thing and you do it online and you want to make sure that your meta gets together for it, by all means do so. This is absolutely encouraged. We have on the 26th, and this is something that yeah, we already had Alexis mentioning on Wednesday. If you remember that Wednesday, was it a Tuesday? No, it was a Wednesday, when things went totally bonkers and broke and stuff just didn't work for a while, at least for some of us. So yeah, we have the Giant Deck Tournament organized by Sanjay on the 26th, which is most likely going to be the weirdest thing you've ever seen in Netrunner online, as it's all about playing giant decks against each other and see who can squeak out a win with hundreds, literally hundreds of cards, some rules around it. Do check the event details as well on Always Be Running, and you will learn a bit more. We have Netrunner Round 8, Netrunner being this really cool idea picked up by people on, I believe it started on StimHack forums. And it's a once a month-ish tournament where basically you play, you keep playing new rounds, and new rounds introduce new cards, but you start with the original core and then you start with the first cycles and so on and so forth. So you play Retro Runner or Netrunner. This is round 8, so they already expanded the card pool a bit. The Swiss folks on the 28th have their online league going on, and then there's also an Eternal event in Munich, which I think might be happening online as well, which is the Mining Corp, Munich Mining Corp number 5, the Eternal formats. For all the people who like to play, you know, Eternal, I think that's going to be fun. Then I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be happening on that weekend or not, so I'm still letting you just only know as a spoiler that there is an Iberian Lockdown number 4 coming up, and I'm the organizer, so do take a look at that. The date is not the 1st or the 2nd of May at this point, not at all. I'm waiting for people to vote. There might be, well, probably it's going to be the weekend after that, but I'm just not going to influence any of the votes, but it might be happening a bit later than the first weekend of May. But yeah, Iberian Lockdown, if you look it up on Always Be Running, all the details there. I'm not going to spoil anything. It's all fun, I hope. We have the Store Championship in Cambridge, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not. And let me just take a quickie looky. No, this event is apparently postponed, which it has huge letters saying postponed there in the description, so yeah. Nothing happening there. Then we have the Identity Crisis Online Tournament on the 2nd of May, organized by Alexis, who's hopefully going to be joining us soon. And yeah, I should be totally letting people in soonish. And this is a tournament with all the rules explained in a neat document that you can also read, linked from Always Be Running. But generally, you build a standard deck, and then you swap the identity of another standard identity for the same side, for the same color, and you just do that. So you have an identity crisis in a way, and then good luck to you. So yeah, everything will be happening on JNet. There will be the Discord used for that. There's a channel on that already. You have to register using a form, so please check Identity Crisis Online Tournament, that entry on Always Be Running as well. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to playing there. I don't have an identity crisis. I just have a crisis in general. So hopefully that's gonna give me a kidding. That's gonna give me the much needed edge to maybe like win a game or two. And then on the 3rd of May, and I hope this is also gonna happen because this looks like the biggest event I've heard of so far on the other side of things from me. So Rumble in the Lockdown Jungle. Generally, it will be 4 or 5 or 6 rounds of Swiss, and there will be some limitations for deck building and so on and so forth. All the details, and there's a Slack channel as well, a Steam Slack channel for this. There's forms left and right for you to figure out. There's gonna be a Discord channel for this as well. Everything is super duper prepared. Make sure that you take a look at it. Rumble in the Lockdown Jungle, generally, probably the best event for you to attend if you're from, well, I would say Middle East, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia, Asia itself in general, Australia, Pacifica, all that, maybe the west coast of the US, New Zealand, and all the associated areas in that lovely part of the world, which is totally from the other side of the planet where I'm sitting at right now. So I'm hoping to somehow attend, maybe help with the streaming, but hopefully I will not have the, perhaps most likely I will not have the brain power to actually play and compete. And then looking onwards, on the 9th of May, we have the Store Championships in Ulm, probably happening online. The Taunton and Tiverton Store Championship. Taunton is actually picking up new places. Like I thought it was always Taunton, but now it's actually Tiverton as well. What's happening? Store Championship over there as well, and a Store Championship in York on the same day. So curiouser and curiouser. So many Store Championships in the English meta. That's going to be quite interesting. We have on the 9th the Barcelona Store Championships happening online. Looking forward to playing in those. Hopefully, maybe streaming. Then we have the Stockholm Store Championships and the Wizard Chest Store Championships in Denver, and Cybernetics, what a name. The Swiss Online Store Championship, mostly probably for the people in the Swiss meta as well, but we'll see about that. We have also the OTG Midwest Championships 2020, but they're rescheduled, so hopefully the Roseville folks are going to tell us soon what's up with that. The Linköping Store Championships on the 23rd. The Norwich Store Championship, same day. PGS Store Championship in Portland, Oregon. And the Pandemonium Store Championship, introducing, of course, pandas to the game. How is everybody on the chat? Hello, Captain Nice. Hello, Javi. Hello, Zerf Maxima. And hello, Clusterfox with the usual username. Okay, now we're slowly getting to the evening. Sorry, to the evening itself. Yeah, we're already in the evening. We're slowly getting to the main event for the evening. That's what I was going to say. So allow me to bring up the screen here just to refresh your memories. We have Game 4 lined up for tonight. And I'll be slowly summoning my lovely people in the background to make sure that I'm not on my own. But for now, I'm just going to give you a few reminders, basically. So I can handle this myself, people, don't worry. We had 3 games so far with the New World Orders, starting with Pinsel on Geist and getting... well, it was one of those epic games that lasted 70-something minutes, and then things started crashing on my side, and I'm really, really deeply sorry for that to all the viewers, and absolutely grateful to Labes, who was also streaming in German, so that we could have Alexis and Clusterfox navigating people through a game that I couldn't actually get into. But things crashed, and generally Kenny beat Pinsel, so Pinsel was eliminated from the tournament, and then Heinzel jumped in on Haley and managed to eke out a win. And this was the stream that completely crashed. So I mean, basically, I couldn't really stream much of this, mea culpa. But that was some sort of a weird hiccup on my side, plus on JNet's side, and I just couldn't get into that game, even though I was spectating it apparently. That hopefully is resolved right now. I cleaned all the caches, cookies, and all the other different things ever. And that hopefully is going to work just nicely today. And we had Heinzel eliminating Kenny. So beating that Jinteki, that evil PE, Personal Evolution Jinteki deck, much to everybody's delight. I think everybody was clapping at home like, yes, finally Jinteki goes down, because that was a harrowing experience for the runners, I have to say, with all the milling happening. And then we had Heinzel eliminated by Peter. Peter jumped in, Peter also known as Motion Blur. Who came second in BCOM, by the way, in a super exciting final as well versus Longi, and that was quite a game for the ages. So Peter on NBN on 6-point as Mari, beating Heinzel's Haley. And today, yeah, because the games were supposed to continue, but then the teams decided to take a break, and the new challenger appeared. So we have Asger, also known as Tuk That Good, on Sports Metal, and I have the Sports Metal list here, and it is indeed a sports metal that I love. I played it recently as well. It's called Freddie Mercury's Shorts Metal. You can look it up on Netrunner DB. It has quite a few interesting things. Arella Salvatore in there, Biotic Labors, obviously. Foods, cyberdecks, sandboxes, and whatnot. So basically, you're trying to rush things out as fast as possible because you're all about metal. So yeah, Sport Metal versus 419, and this is a 419 using Rozekis and all the usual nasty things, but this is actually a 419 that goes for a lot of money. There are 3 liberated accounts in that list, Pat Taps, obviously, corporate grants, boo, that card, and all the good stuff. You know, you have your 2 turtles, and then you have all the breakers, just to make sure you access everything. Boomerangs, obviously, you have Paragon, so basically good stuff, 419. And we'll see how that fares against the super duper fast sports metal people. You have the deck list shared in the chat by the lovely Princess Space Kitten, thank you so much, who's the tournament organizer as well, and the meta jockey for this. And I'm just gonna very quickly check with my potential guests. We're going on air. Are we going on air? Is this thing gonna crash? Excuse me, Discord, why don't you work? Please connect. Yeah, okay, so we're going in, and I have my confidante here and my partner in crime with me. Clusterfox, are you in the house?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you fine and dandy, just fine and just dandy. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty hyped for these games.
Why are you hyped? Tell me. It's gonna be boring. It's like the top decks. Oh, I'm kidding. Tell me. Share the hype.
I don't know. It's just a really cool event, and I like seeing very experienced and just very experienced players square off against each other. Let's put it that way.
Ah, okay. Well, there's going to be a lot of squaring off because the cards are rectangular, right? Yeah, I guess that's the whole story here.
They're rounded on the corners, so.
Hello,
Hey.
Alexis. Welcome, welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to the game. Have you analyzed the decks as well?
I have not.
Ah, you're the fresh view, and then we have Clusterfuck just walking in like, yeah, I already analyzed all the meta information here, and I calculated the possibilities and probabilities, and wow.
Ooh.
That might be a stretch.
Have you done the math?
Well, I don't play Stronger Together, so not really.
You know, we haven't quite. I don't think anyone has really ascended to that level yet.
We can all be Damon. I mean,
Yeah, it's truly an ascension.
no, I just looked over the remaining deck lists just to see what we've got in the tank, but
Sure.
I didn't really do any math or anything.
So what's the forecast for tonight? Are we gonna have a 70-minute game like we did on Wednesday?
You know, now that Jinteki has, or the PE deck has thankfully
Mm-hmm.
been eliminated, I have much higher hopes for how the rest of this will go.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think most of the decks that are remaining are all pretty fast decks. Potentially, with the exception of Percomus' Osmari. But that is also not the standard 6-point list. It does have some aggressive tricks in it. Other than that, I don't think we're going to see anything nearly as stagnant as the PE deck.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the things I really like about us discussing this, and this is also the feeling I always get when I play at a tournament or when I see people playing at a tournament. People are never against other players. They're usually against certain like archetypes or certain cards. They're like, oh geez, you just played, like Scarcity Gana. But it's as if it's like people are just against a particular maybe play style, never against the person, which I find really nice because I mean, the decks you choose don't say much about your personality unless you're me, and then you of course play PE, but don't tell anybody. But yeah, this is the way basically that the game rolls, which I really enjoy. Okay, well, outside of the game, how are you doing, people? I mean, everything fine? I had a bit of sun today, so I already got my vitamin D sorted.
Whoa, yeah, I had a bit of a work day, like a little bit of work in the morning, and now taking a break. What's great about working from home is that I can work literally at any time. So if I want to do stuff during the day, I can just work in the evening or whatever. So no, I've just been chilling, working. Now I'm here.
Goody. Thomas, what about you? Have you dealt with the guitar guy in the background? Because I read your text and I was like, we're gonna have Spanish guitar in the background for free.
He's stopped playing. I will point out though, in about a minute, people are going to start coming out on their balconies and applauding for everybody who's working to make the pandemic here in Barcelona more bearable. So if that gets a bit too loud, I might drop out for a few minutes.
Fair enough. I mean, we can do our own
maybe
clapping.
start hearing it in the background here, but
we can do our own clapping.
People do that here, but so in my neighborhood at least, there's one guy who sets off fireworks for random events, just like one at a time. It's like kind of a surprise because like for sports games or whatever, it'll just be like you'll know something happens because the one guy is shooting off fireworks. So we got fireworks guy, and then the thing here is that people go outside and they like howl super loudly at 8 p.m.
Owl, you have a bunch of werewolves there. This is cool. I mean,
so it's a combination of the fireworks guy and like all these people howling all over the place.
We have the clapping here. So yeah, already this is I find it really cool. Although I wouldn't mind a bit of a like a bit of change. Yeah, I mean howling or I don't know, doing really cool. Like bring on something cool. We're already, in case you haven't noticed, we're already jumping into the table. So yeah, we're gonna try and limit the amount of people today jumping into the table.
Would you be able to send me the password?
Yeah, I mean, a big request to everybody who has seen the password on the stream, like, let's not worry, like, just don't jump onto the table. That's it. Imagine that this table is of limited carrying power, and there's only so many people that can fit. Sports Metal and 419. I'm putting my money on Sports Metal just because I love Sports Metal because it's the best ID ever.
I think it's going to depend on what Asger's early draws are. If he can draw into agendas and rush a couple out, then he's in a good spot. If it goes long, then it's basically a credit denial 419. It could get tricky if he doesn't have the money to res his things and score his agendas.
All the people shouting in the background, I hope you cannot hear them, but they're very noisy. It's almost like howling. Anyway.
Okay, I'm going to pop out for a few minutes and I'll be back in a few.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm taking a look here.
Are you analyzing the lists?
Oh, always.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Sports Metal winning this. It's not about the team. It's just about the idea itself. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, no, I like Sports Metal a lot. I feel like Sports Metal, it's like kind of like has the best way to play it, but I've seen so many different variations of Sports Metal that are all really, really interesting. So it's like a good base to do a lot of interesting things with.
Yep. Oh, and as a bit of a meta information here, hello to Mr. Buggles and Magaruiz. Thank you for joining us. And here we go, Sports Metal, starting with a very, very mysterious R&D and HQ install. What could that be? Probably ice.
You know, it could be anything. Going for the bold ice, the classic ice hedge fund.
I don't know.
Never go wrong.
Maybe this time it's a ruse. I'm betting Gatekeeper.
Or Drafter. Oh, no.
Or a Brainstorm. Oh, that was fast. Okay, so yeah, 2 credits or 2
okay,
points.
then.
Yeah, I would go 2 cards,
Well,
yeah.
That's not a great one to get stolen.
Yep. You definitely want to have the Orcas.
Yeah. Pretty important in 419, so turns out Cyberdeck Sandbox is really, really good against that.
Yeah. And you get money for purging, which is just value down.
Yeah, it's great. You get I mean, one of them is like okay value for that, but 2? Oof.
That's a vanilla.
Classic. You can't go wrong.
I'm still waiting for other flavors as well, like I don't know, like maybe chocolate chip or something. And I already saw the dreaded disconnected from server message, so I hope I'm back in the game and I reconnected. I'm just gonna try something. Yeah, okay, we're in. Oof.
Okay, good.
I'm really worried about my connection, but then again, it's probably just Janet hating me because I spent so much time on it. Oh.
That'll do it.
Oh. So here we have Asger drawing up to 7 cards, 2 clicks left, so he can install if he has additional ice or any assets out there that he would like to put. And in the meantime, we had Motion Blur putting a class act on the table, so that of course means extra draw, extra options, putting that extra pressure with all the cool toys you have in that 419.
Yeah, I like this 419 very much feels like almost like just classic good things criminal, you know? Like that deck type hasn't really existed for quite a while, which is why I like this deck a lot.
Yeah, I think it's like the last time we had like a good stuff criminal was Andromeda back in the day, where you just, you know, not only did you have like all the good stuff, but you also had like 9 cards to start with.
But you're also Andromeda, yeah.
Yeah. And she's in this deck as well. And this should be called, I don't know, like people sunbathing or something, because, you know, you have liberated account, sunbathing, class axe.
Oh my god, and they're right next to each other. Look at them.
Yeah, this is like, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
419 on the beach, chilling.
Oh my god, and Amakua?
Yeah! This
So that's like adjacent?
This is the summer 419.
So, seeing a nice little bluff happen in that remote server, I think. Choosing not to res that inner piece of ice because it's just advanced assembly lines.
Yeah. And that got trashed promptly. I mean, Sports Metal here probably trying to just make the runner face check that second piece of ice somehow, but what could it be that you don't res it? I mean, another vanilla? No, that you would just res it for the...
Or, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, like, if it was a Fairchild, that would be a little bit too much of a money hit to be able to do something next turn. Maybe, I don't know.
For the folks wondering what kind of a deck this Sports Metal is, I'm going to paste it into the chat because I can. I has the power. It has a beautiful name. I love the name already. It's Freddie Mercury's Shorts Metal, basically. So yeah. Nothing wrong with that name. NGO and money.
So yeah, going for the attempted bait, but turns out that's what makes NGO really good, is because even if they don't take it, you still get a fat chunk of cash.
Yep. And 419, kind of on the poor side of things, even though you have archives open and you can use that to fuel Paragon and get some cards, and Last Act is helping. But the econ on the criminal side kind of low, so I think the corp is in good position.
Yeah, even though he exposed the Vitruvius in the server, I mean, you can't really do much when you've got 3 credits and no more liberated accounts.
Yeah, there's the Arella.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
here we go.
And there's gonna be another jam, I guess, on server 1, of course, and a counter on that.
The sports train has left the station.
Choo choo. Indeed, this is a jammy / marmalade deck. Absolutely, I totally agree with that theory of deck building. It has sweet things in it. I mean, that little dragon is so cute.
Also, one thing that Asgard has to be careful of is the 419 deck is running a single copy of Miss Bones as well, which helps him clear out servers.
Okay.
If you can get in, obviously.
Yeah.
And here we have a score with the Vitruvius with a counter on it, which might be useful.
That seems pretty good.
Now, no cool targets in the archives, just, well, but maybe, I mean, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, Asgard's off to a really great start here.
Yeah. Having lost that agenda, though, in the beginning was a bit off-putting, but yeah, now he's definitely in control of the situation.
It's hard to tell every time, at least I play against Sports Metal, when like stealing just kind of a random early agenda, I'm like, is this really beneficial to me, or is giving them that little boost actually hurting me more than, you know what I mean? It's like a hard balance, especially against a deck like this, that once it gets going, it's hard to stop.
Yep.
Giving them a little early boost feels bad sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think he really cares about losing a couple of early agendas as long as he can start trading them. And I mean, if he's holding a biotic and that's a global food, then this game is over.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the beauty of Sports Metal. I mean, generally, if you lose an agenda, you still gain. So that's what I really like about this ID. It keeps you in the game. Yeah, it helps you get the right kind of tempo, because draw is, I mean, I find draw nowadays in Corp a bit hard unless you play really horizontal. But there's not that many ops that you can benefit from. And you know, fully operational, you need to have remotes, or it's good to have remotes. All the, well, okay, HB has all the different clearances, but if you're outside of HB, not so good. So Sports Metal,
it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Well, there's things like wall to wall, Rashida, obviously. And here comes a diversion. Is he going to try and stop it?
So, I mean, at 10 credits, this seems pretty relevant right now.
Boom.
Oh, especially, I mean, that's really bad, but at least
he can pay through it once.
Will cost money.
Yeah.
That is a bounce then. The doof just whiffed.
I think it's less about losing the 5 credits and more just that he doesn't want that big econ swing.
Oh, that will be an access.
Come on, there's the
gatekeeper. Nice.
That's really bad. I'm a big fan of Gatekeeper.
Absolutely. I think it's
Just-
a great little piece of ice.
It's amazing. I remember the first time I looked at this card, I was like, well, you only get to do it one time because then it's this little baby thing. But I realized that doesn't really matter that much because sometimes all you need to do is get that first fire off.
Yeah.
It's good for like just the clutch time that you need to use it, and after that,
Exactly.
if it's on a central, I mean, it's still you can't really bounce off for turning wheel.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could.
You could, but you're still like paying a credit. It's just one of those few options that you have that's a very cheap piece of ice that doesn't just have a hard in the run, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like things like IP block is sort of similar. I mean, you can't it has an in the run, but you can't just bounce off it.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to play Gatekeeper in Blue Sun, and that was a fun time.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use divert power on it, but
Ooh.
We have a question from the chat. Hello there, Phantom of Aries. Okay, what's the apple corn coke or Passoa juice? That's not related to the game, but we can probably advise. I don't know.
What the fuck? What?
I don't know.
this is Elwin talking about his strange fruity alcoholic drinks.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're mixing cocktails in the chat. Well, okay, fair enough. I would just say whatever you're mixing, if you add a bit of whiskey to it, no, don't. Good whiskey is enjoyed just straight.
So apple corn coke or Passoa juice? I would go for Passoa juice, man. Apple corn coke sounds kind of nasty.
Coke sounds kind of nasty. I don't know.
I don't know. While the players are deep in the tank right now, you want to know a fun fact about Coke, real quick?
Yep.
Go ahead.
So when Coke and Pepsi were kind of being invented, the two things that kind of differentiated the two is that Coke was designed to be drank warm because not everybody had a fridge, and Pepsi was designed to be drank cold.
Okay.
Wasn't like originally derived from like they were trying to make cough medicine or something?
I have no idea.
I've read that somewhere, but
Would you drink warm Coke though? I mean, nowadays.
Probably not. Doesn't sound that great.
so I wonder but getting back to the game, I kind of wonder what Asger's thinking about. If it's a 3-pointer, he can credit and score it.
I think he's thinking how to make this game last longer than the first game in the series, like or the first game in that match in general.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if it's a sports medal deck that takes that long to play, then one of the two players is playing it wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
That's an NGO. Oh no, that's
Ooh,
Oh.
popping the advanced assembly lines, nice.
Okay.
Just get moneying up.
Okay.
That's actually a pretty clever play, and I mean, I have to give it to Asger. I've seen him play a bunch of times. I know him from tournaments in Europe, and he sometimes takes these lines that are really creative.
Hmm. I mean, this is probably one of those moments when it would be good to see the whole situation on the table, but it's good to not see it because then you can go like, oh, plot twist.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I know the server one that I believe that outside ice was exposed and was a drafter.
I'm not sure. I know the outside ice on HQ is a drafter.
Oh, that might be the one I'm thinking of.
Which I'm not sure if it's like really even worth resing it at this point because Buckhalter
Probably.
kind of just chews it up.
Yeah.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 2 credits because it gains 2
Yeah.
back.
Okay, so the access is still happening.
There is, and that's like a funny include in this deck. There is one Surveyor in the Sports Metal deck.
Ooh. Surprise, surprise. Could that
Do
be
like
it?
that.
So here comes the... No,
Depends
that's
on what this is. Oh,
a Fairchild.
that's really bad.
That's a nice hit. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's gross.
I like it that you're coming at this from two totally different opposite directions. Like beautiful, gross. Like, oh.
Well, I mean, like Fairchild 3, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not amazing. I mean, against Amina, it's 4 credits to break it, so it's kind of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I mean, Peter's on 0 credits, so getting that Amina down doesn't look like it's gonna happen anytime soon.
Going for credit advance here, which I mean,
That'd be
419 at 0 credits with currently nothing installed to get past the Fairchild. That seems pretty okay.
Like through it, but I mean,
yeah, and this 419 is not
You
running
can't-
any stem hacks or anything,
Oh,
so yeah.
True, but you still. No, you'd be because you need 1 credit to get through the vanilla. Oh, but there's a daily cast.
yeah. I'm guessing that's a food, honestly.
Could
Yeah.
be.
Boomerang.
Or is
Let's
this like the
see.
longest played NGO? Oh no, wait.
Oh, that's a food. That's a
It's a
food. Yeah.
GFI.
Yeah. So the game's, yeah, I mean, it's died for now, so, you know. Still, the R&D is a liability here because you never know. You might have the runner just having lucky accesses, unless you're holding all the agendas in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Another install advance.
So, I mean, is this worth just chasing again, I wonder? Oh, there's no boomerang out anymore. Well,
And there's no NGOs. There's 1 NGO in the bins. I mean,
yeah.
it's possible that's just an NGO, or it's a really risky bluff.
I mean, it's not too risky because
There's a
Hyperloop.
Hyperloop.
That
Ooh, that's-
could be game. Although no, what am I even talking about? I mean, you cannot really contest the Fairchild. Excusez-moi. I thought there was some way. I mean, maybe if you drew it into a boomerang now, you could kind of.
I can click through it. I mean,
Yeah, but if you have the clicks, but this was like 3 clicks left.
yeah.
yeah. Now he can't get at it. Absolutely not. Oh,
I mean, we're waiting to see these.
that's weird. It was exposed. It is a global food.
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't go for it. Yeah, it was 419 exposed. So I don't see why they didn't just go for it.
Currently not a way to get past that gatekeeper because there was a boomerang used on it last turn.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
an idiot.
Don't worry, I said the same thing. I'm like, wait, well, why didn't he just go? But yeah.
That be game then.
That was
Okay.
really close.
Yeah. And it
All
only
right,
took
so
18 minutes.
NWE taking another one.
Yep.
So we're even now. We've got 2 players left on both teams.
Yep.
So Team UK is going to take 5 minutes to discuss what they want to play. 419's runner is, Asger's runner is also 419. So UK has 2 players left, which is Mike Prosser on Hoshiko and Blue Sun, or the formidable Chris Dyer on Geist and Argus.
Ooh.
And yes, as we're getting ready for that, I'm gonna be waiting for the decision from the teams who's gonna be facing Asger right now. So yeah, this was a cool game. Huh? I told you sports
Really
metal
close.
is gonna win, but that was close. So yeah, Gatekeeper doing a lot of work for a mere 3 credits, right?
Yeah, Gatekeeper is amazing. It had a really good first fire and then says the words "end the run" later on.
Yep.
So, any predictions on what Team UK is going to put up against this?
I mean,
I-
I'm biased, and I want to see the Argus being played because Argus is always a fun time.
Yeah, we do have to
I
wait.
think it's interesting, but it's while it is a close matchup, I do think that is 419 favored.
Yeah, I think so too.
The Geist deck against Sports Metal might be probably a good idea. I'm not sure if Hoshiko's fast. Hoshiko's also pretty strong, but I don't know if it's fast enough to deal with this the Sports Metal deck. I don't think Blue Sun is a good idea against 419 either. So I'm guessing that they're gonna put Geist up against this or potentially Hoshiko.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've got confirmation.
Oh
that
well,
it's gonna be
the Blue
Chris.
Sun would actually be okay against 419 because turns out when you can just install a nice face up, you don't.
That is true. But we did get confirmation that former world champion Chris Dyer is going to be subbed in playing his Geist against Asger's Sports Metal.
Cool.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to quickly update using the magics of using graphic programs and whatnot. This is the matchup then. We have Asger versus Chris Dyer. Gonna be fun, I think. Are they already setting the table up? No, not just yet. Okay. Cool, I would say. How's the chat doing, by the way? And yes, thank you so much, Mar, for sharing all the decks in the chat, because that makes it much easier for everybody to know what's up. And I really like the open deck policy for for a game in this format, because I think it really makes it more sporty.
Mm-hmm.
It does also make, because it's played over 3 different matchups, so if the deck lists weren't public, then Team UK would have a significant advantage because they could have watched the games of Team Boss Wash against NWE. So it just makes sense that they're all open.
No going back to Worlds pre-2018, where the first day of the cut was just the day for scoping everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Also, their solution with having to send in deck lists a couple days in advance wasn't the most elegant, I think, but...
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, did I just join the game? Whoops! I just want to watch it, excuse me. Although I do have the deck list, so I could theoretically pretend I'm Chris Dyer, right? I mean, I'm almost...
Ooh, there you go.
As good as him. When
Subbing in.
Yeah. Oh. Really looking forward to this one. I kind of regret not brewing more coffee because I had a long night last night and now I'm kind of a bit asleep. But you're here with me, dear people, so you're gonna carry me through this.
We'll keep you awake.
Yeah, Mike is pointing out as well that the PE deck doesn't really care about if the runner knows what's in it. It's basically an attrition kind of deck style. One of the things that, if this format were ever to be played again, is I think another consideration was maybe have timed rounds.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Right, currently there's no time limit on these games, and that's a reason why the PE deck works so well, is just because it can sit there and just wait it out.
Yeah, we remember that still. I think that was one of the most traumatic experiences I had, this week.
I'm gonna need multiple therapy sessions to get through that one.
It's like in the beginning of the quarantines everywhere, I heard this joke that people, like everybody's psychologists and therapists are hearing a lot about Animal Crossing, and now it's gonna be everybody's gonna hear about that PE deck.
The PE is the new Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Accidentally, I heard actually that who was this? I can't remember, but I think somebody put online on Twitter. They have in their Animal Crossing, which I don't play, by the way, but yeah, a lot of people are in the community, and they have a shop where you can get merch that actually has Netrunner things in it, like the faction logos and stuff. So
yeah, you can you can make pretty much your own designs and put them on things.
Yeah.
So it's just like pixel work that you do, and you can put it on there. It's great.
I think Dan Spinoza, Code Marvelous, put up a couple of things like that as well.
we have apologies for the PE games. Please don't send any therapy bills towards Frost Maze on Twitch, also known as of course known as Kenny. Yeah, so Frost. Okay, here we go. They both kept. Hope you
never see a tech trader. We got some trash talk here.
Ooh, rude.
Eating up.
This is fighting words. It's like tech trader. I don't know. Does this warrant a judge warning though? Like I don't know.
Not at all, of course not. This is friendly
Oh,
banter
Oh,
between
of
friends.
course. Yeah, friendly. Right.
I'll allow it.
Ooh. Now we're getting all the spicy details. Marie is still in therapy for other experiences at World, so regarding diaper decks. So I think trauma caused by certain game experiences is a thing that could become something you can bill your for example insurance company for.
I still wake up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat when I think about blackmail existing.
like the character in the card as well.
Yeah, it's like I'm that guy.
Okay, we have a forecast here of actually Chris slamming 3 tech traders turn 1. That would be quite something.
In the in-game chat, Chris also mentioned he has 4 tech traders. So
4. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Next level strats.
Ooh, here we go.
Okay, you don't want to wait.
Going for the good old triple
Go for it.
install. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pushing it.
Campbell, Street Peddler. Do you think Street Peddler and Kit Peddler are related? I think I may have asked that question on some other stream maybe.
Oh, I haven't thought about that. They're both sitting cross-legged.
And they're both peddlers, right? I think it's maybe Street is a different name, which is Kit. I mean, real Kit Peddler, and then you have Street somebody Peddler. Or, I don't know.
Street peddler, street.
My
Boom,
name
and
is,
he's got the first tech trader on the board.
yeah.
There it is.
My name's Peddler, Street Peddler. Anyway, so there we go. Yeah, tech traders, and that's basically game. Okay, so everybody can just go home now. Okay, vanilla.
Time to see what's hanging out on the street peddler, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting denied by the 1 vanilla in the deck.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's 2 of them.
So-
Sorry. Such a good early gear check. After a while, it does nothing, but I mean, it boosts Satyr, Adaptive Barrier, and Surveyor, obviously.
So handily having a Gabali sitting on that street peddler seems pretty good.
Yeah.
But you also have a sugar
Unfortunately,
gamble and a
it's
grappling
just an
hook.
advanced assembly lines, but
Pops it for a quick 2 credits.
gotta keep everyone honest,
Yep.
Yep.
And this is why Chris is the world champ. Tech trader and opening hand, 100% skill. Absolutely. Then we have Simon saying, Chris playing Geist, dark times indeed. Whoops. Yep. And I think, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it doesn't matter if you were a world champ 5 years ago or last year. You're always a world champ in our hearts. So that's it. We don't have to go about all the years. Maybe just to remember which cards were in play. That's about it. Anyway, you were saying, Thomas.
No, I was saying that there wasn't much happening. I kind of have the feeling that Asker is kind of starved for quick, fast advance cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's another AAL. Popping something down. Which is a Tranquility Home Grid. There we go. More money. Okay, so we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the Geist with 10 credits and cards in hand, so that server might look safe, but we'll see in a second.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Well, it's going to take him at least 2 clicks to install things to get through that server.
Unless Street Peddler run and what? Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, I kind of really always like these HB jammy style decks. I thought like Gemmy HB back, or we always say HB. Gemmy ETF back in the day was also a pretty strong archetype.
Oh, ETF. Those were the days.
Remember that? God damn.
Boy back then.
A wee lad.
A wee lad.
All right, we got a grappling hook, so that's good.
That will help with maybe whatever is on the outside.
The Q loop.
So
The
this is
Geist engine coming in.
hunting for the boomerang, potential boomerang. Indeed. ETF, 1 credit per turn on your ID, so balanced. It was balanced. You just had to play wizard or something. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or mill
You just have to
nodes.
balance to the other side.
There goes a bravado. Very
All
bravely into that
And,
remote.
So I didn't
hope-
realize, like, the first 3 times I read Bravado that it doesn't require a successful run.
Indeed.
Oh,
It just requires a run, which is great.
absolutely. And he was lucky enough with his Q loop to find a boomerang.
Don't call
Everything
it
is going
luck.
so well.
It's skill, pure skill.
But here comes vanilla number 2 on the outside.
Ooh.
If it's a Fairchild 3, which I figured it was,
Oh,
he
hey,
can
that's
break
fun.
the end of the run, but he's losing the boomerang.
Painful.
Oh no, wait, the runner chooses which card to trash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you trash here?
Yeah, definitely.
I think the grappling
hook.
hook was...
Okay.
Or no, he... Oh yeah, I guess we'll see what is trashed. Because the...
U-loop.
the
Okay.
U-loop.
I mean, yeah, if you get into that server, you get money, so you still have 30 cards in your stack, you're in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why Geist is so oppressive. He could just pull things like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it's a sandbox. Nice. Using the sports metal trigger to take 2 credits. That's interesting.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
to
this
bounce back
level.
from the Fairchild res,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And still 1 click, so would you ping R&D? No, you're just gonna drop.
It's hard to say, because it's like, if this wasn't sports metal,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah. But it's a hard balance of, do you want to risk, sure, getting a point, but also giving them back some tempo that they lost just now?
I'd say so. I mean, you got to get those
Yeah.
accesses when you can. Like, even if it's just a bit of a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do this again.
I mean, that seems
But
like a
that's the
smart
thing.
decision.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just keep jamming stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris doesn't have the back yet, but I mean, still got plenty of cards in his deck.
Yeah.
Up there's another Q loop, an extra draw from Masterwork, and a credit on the technical writer.
And that is some value.
Absolutely.
Server 1, either Rashida or maybe a Vitruvius. Or Hyperloop.
There aren't a lot of things that deal with Geist easily. Like we saw Wednesday, the PE deck can deal with it just due to attrition.
Just by sitting there
Yeah.
menacingly.
I think
But other than that, I mean, you got to play decks that just go really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Because
think,
I'm assuming this deck also plays Stargate. So like when that Stargate comes down, it can be pretty oppressive.
the PE deck
does
can deal
have a
with
Stargate
anything.
in it.
Yeah, it does, yep. Which makes it scary.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull up this list. It looks like pretty standard Geist list that's been circling around.
Mm-hmm.
A Corroder, a Stargate, 3 Peddlers, 3 Gabalis, and 2 Simul chips.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty unfair that you have money. Well, There are 3 Doofs in that Geist as well, so...
That's an upgrade on R&D.
HQ.
On HQ, sorry. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's going to be a Chrysium grid just to stop doofs.
That seems pretty good. Or maybe a sneak. No, CVS doesn't do anything in this matchup. Yeah.
Not until he scores a sandbox.
Well, yeah.
All right, we've got the corroder coming down so that vanilla does nothing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Chat opinion: runners with money are always cheating. As a lifelong NBN player, that's one of the players
That is a
attesting.
fact.
Chris banking some money on the technical writers. Unless Asger can really start rushing out some points, I don't think this is going very well for him.
We have some brave theories about that upgrade on HQ being actually Arella pretending to be a grid, winning cosplay awards for that. Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a cool idea for a cosplay costume. Who are you? I'm a San City grid, or I'm I'm Wanza, like I'm Wanza City grid.
And then 2 people come in cosplayed as the people from Drive By, and then.
Oh no, that's
yeah.
rude.
Now you're doing it.
Oh. Okay, thinking.
As they're taking a deep think.
Yeah. Probably deciding all the possible fashion choices for today. Like, was it a good idea to put those trousers on? I don't know.
It just makes me think that he doesn't have clear lines right now.
Yeah.
Because the deck that he's playing is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Spike and peeking at something, and no run just yet. So Chris thinking here what to do with those 5 cards in his hand.
Yeah, the third ice on the remote, especially while there's still a Fairchild sitting there, is not great, because I would assume that you'd like to have a gatekeeper right there, depending on what he drew.
Yeah.
And here's the Stargate.
Just abandoning that plan. This is I support.
This could be crucial.
Yeah.
Unless Fairchild.
With the Q loop, he can find another boomerang. But I think...
there it is.
Yeah. Nice. He's getting really lucky with these draws.
Skilled. Skilled.
So not rezzing that, so poor boomerang is stuck there.
There's a Vitruvius.
That seems pretty good.
Yep. 4 points.
I'm always so anxious when using things like Stargate or whatever else to trash things from R&D. I never leave the points in archives for too long. I'm always like, next click, gotta go get it before I forget.
Makes sense. Absolutely. I mean, in this list, this corp list is running.
It doesn't have any preemptives.
Oh no, it doesn't. Okay.
The only way to get it back is an over advanced Vitruvius.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ouch.
So I'm assuming the reason why he didn't res the ice is because, like, if the boomerang's on the board and you can kind of lock it there, just over install that piece of ice.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a lot of a lot of matchups that play boomerangs, you just want to get rid of it, so res it so that they can't use it again. But in Geist, it's a bit too much value.
Yeah.
They pop it, they draw a card, they get tech trader credits. Alright, so I'm assuming that the second card in server 1 was probably an Arella, and now we've got an agenda install. Ooh, he puts another ice on top of it instead of just over installing it.
Yeah.
Alright, Spycam checking out if there are any juicy Gendies on top of R&D.
Oh well. We have a spicy quote about Chris. I played combo ass at nationals. I have no self-respect left. This is regarding the deck choices because Chris playing Geist is surprising.
Yeah.
Right. I think the spy cam pop was just value because he already knows what the top card is on R&D.
There was a draw, like a click draw. There's only one.
Was there? Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
missed
so that should have been a fresh one.
Yeah. My bad.
I know, I'm always so bad at remembering that. Like when I'm playing, I'm just like,
The spy cams are so much. Yeah, exactly. The spy cams are just so much value. It's 0 install, you get a draw from Masterwork.
And $2 on your thing.
Yep.
Yeah, your tech writers
One each,
build
but-
up,
Seems really good. Whoa.
Oh. Holy.
Well, if you start jamming, you should just keep jamming.
Really pack it in there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game looks far from over now because it looked a bit uncertain on the corp side with the Stargate and only a single piece of ice on R&D, but now it's looking a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Go sports! Sports.
I'm assuming there's a CVS there. I mean, I don't see what else it could be.
You mean server 1?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Clown car, yep. Clown car sports metal.
We've got a clown car situation.
I love playing the clown car in Asa when it came out, just with like Mason Bellamy and Strongbox and just all of this stuff. It's like, yeah, have fun getting into this server.
Oh, we have accusations of Chris Dyer being an unfair Netrunner player for just being too good in general. I don't know. We would need some science to back this up.
Well, I mean, he consistently places well in any tournament that he goes to. He's
everything.
Yeah, he's an excellently skilled pilot. I'm assuming he's gonna go check server 1.
I mean, there's still no boomerangs made it into the trash, right?
We have 13 cards in the heap, and yeah, all of them are still in play somewhere, yeah.
So, I mean, the odds aren't horrendous on finding what you need.
Now pressure on R&D.
Well, I got 10 credits, so I'm assuming he's... Ooh, that's a Hagen?
That's gross. Hopefully a boomerang was found.
Well, you also have a order on the table, but...
Yeah, it's expensive with Corroder. And if he doesn't break it, he's losing the Stargate.
Yeah.
And the second piece of ice would be DOS. Vegan DOS would be... Oh, look at this!
Oh, another Vitruvius.
And a Hyperloop on top as well. That's not good.
Oh, I mean, could definitely go back in with a tech trader sitting there, or a technical writer, sorry, sitting with $6 on it.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen here.
Seems good.
That's probably game.
Yeah.
Yeah, concession,
Yeah.
indeed. That
Let's do
was...
All right, so Team UK is up 1.
Turn 8.
Yeah. One last
Okay.
competitor for NWE, and that is Percomus, who is playing Valencia, Apocalypse Valencia, and Kill Asmari list.
So I think I know who the pairing is gonna be for game 6. I don't have to ask anybody, but we will still have a bit of a break, right? I mean, we can still chit chat about stuff. So what do you think about this game? Was it fair?
Oh, I think it was absolutely fair, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Sports Metal ran into a bad situation. There was like several turns where not a lot was happening on the Sports Metal side, where I feel like really like there were windows, scoring windows available, but couldn't find.
I couldn't find his early agendas to start pushing, and Chris, like I'm not saying that it wasn't display of skill, but he did get really lucky on his Q loop draws.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready for game number 6, which is going to be Chris on we don't know just what yet, and Percomis on also we don't know what just yet. But yeah, this is basically 4 completely different IDs, so there's not going to be any mirror options here. Or people raising things in the background. I should leave that game. They're just being rowdy now.
I have a
suspicion.
Yeah, I have a suspicion that they're gonna put up Asmari against this Geist deck, because I don't think the APOC Valencia is a great matchup against Argus.
I'm just taking a look at the lists. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just my 2 cents. I think the Asmari deck has a bit more legs against Geist than Valencia does against Argus, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Argus looks brutal. I mean, yeah.
It's a pretty standard Argus list.
Yeah, that's why it looks brutal, right? We're talking Wayland here, my friend. And the 6-point is Mari with 2 surveyors in it. Yeah, you definitely want to slow the runner down.
See, did I call it? Yep, it's Asmari.
Okay.
So next round up, we have Percomis from Hungary playing his Kill Asmari, which is actually a bit more of an interesting deck to watch than the grinding out 6-point Asmari against this same Geist deck piloted by Chris Dyer from the UK. Now let's see if Percomis can pull off what he did last time and just win 2 games in a row.
Weirder things have happened. If we manage to get some bell sounds into the game, I think, yeah, could work.
Oh, I can get the bell.
Yeah, I mean, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Just saying.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick break because I think, as I have been reading it internally, that the players are gonna put up the game in a few minutes. They're also taking a quick break.
Fair enough. So for everybody just joining right now, you are joining Fight Club 2.5, also known as the second round of the New World Earthers trying to face up versus Team UK, and we are at what could be the last game of the evening, although maybe not. We will have Percomis on Asmari versus Chris on...
Oh, Thomas, sorry, is Thomas still in here?
What's going on?
Oh, never mind, we're fine.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off.
Fair enough. So we have Chris on Geist, and that Geist confidently, although with a bit of luck, beat Asger's Sports Metal to my, dismay, I would say. I mean, no, it's just about Sports Metal being eliminated. I'm just a bit sad, that's it. But we're going for it, I hear, so let's see how this is gonna look in a second or two. What's your bet, Alexis, here? What would you go for?
I feel like Asmari is going to have a pretty easy time proccing its own ability, if I were to make an educated guess here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Honestly, I think that Asmari might be a little more ahead. But I don't know. I don't know much about the Geist matchup into different corps, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, and as a reminder, indeed, it was actually Percomis' birthday recently, so wish him good luck and all the best. I don't know even if it's like if it's exactly today, but I think it was 2 days ago, although I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, but you can still send wishes, just belated wishes, and that's it.
Yes.
Now I'm hungry for cake. Jeez, I should have shut up about birthdays. Never mind. Do you remember your last piece of cake that you had? Is that a bad question to ask?
Honestly, no, I think so. The people who that I work with at my office are like really into birthdays, and I think somebody had a birthday like 2 months ago, and a cake was involved.
Okay, that seems.
Yeah.
So the birthday was yesterday, apparently. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for thank you for the chat shouting at us in a very kind way. Not shouting, of course, sending a message.
We had a very sweet evening, actually. We had a Skype with a bunch of people and Procomus for his birthday, which was really, really a fun thing to do.
Was there cake?
There was cake.
That totally counts. Oh, look! It's criminal cards in a criminal deck doing criminal things.
This could never have been anticipated. So managing to dodge the first Asmari naming resource and installing 2 pieces of hardware.
Some trash talk going on in game. Burkova saying he can scarcity the tech traders, and Chris saying, "Ha! I don't have any." Savagely outplayed.
Hello, Chris7. Thank you for joining us on this live stream of potentially the last game of the evening, but maybe not. I would be quite excited if actually Perkamus beats Chris here. Maybe.
I know.
Be cool. And it's down to the wire. Okay. What's on R&D? Is it the weekend?
You know, with only 6 of them in the whole deck, seems, you never know, could happen.
But then you need to have 5 credits for Bologna, if it's a Bologna.
Gross.
Yeah, very good comment by the tournament organizer herself. Not to pick sides, but having to go for the last players on both sides is the most fun you can have in this format. Indeed, because then it's just deciding everything. What do the winners get, by the way? Like
bragging rights.
Bragging. I thought cake. Never mind. So I'm not going to compete in the next edition. Sorry. Because if there was like carrot cake, I could have signed up. Maybe, you know.
There you go.
Well, I mean, we could contribute some cyber cakes, but I mean,
yeah, still have those. Yeah, true.
So.
Rashida.
Early Street Peddler looking great for Geist.
Yeah, that Street Peddler could be, well, depending on what's going to happen now with all those cards, but it could be fairly crucial. What if it's a Stargate? Disgusting.
Well, Percomus is comfortably sitting on 14 credits, so it's fair to say that I think he's going to bunker up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to draw into ice for that. How many pieces of ice does this deck have? Good question.
14.
14?
Oof, okay, fair enough. Chances are.
Chances are pretty good.
Ooh, building a remote.
Here we go. So is it cooking a 5/3 for a little bit? Is it another Rashida? Or that controversial early game Echo Chamber?
Could be. I doubt it's a Chrysium grid.
A second Street Peddler, okay.
Here we go.
Basically opening a bazaar. For some reason, street peddlers make me think of the street vendors in Barcelona, because we have quite a lot of those. They have a blanket and they have stuff on it, and you know, they would totally peddle things to you that you maybe don't need. Very Barcelona card.
Did they ever
Mhm.
approach you and ask, what are you buying?
Well, no, they're usually kind people. Like, they're nice. They're just there. Yeah. But I think we should make a Street Peddler version for Barcelona for the next one. I have to talk to some people about this. Double advance in Server 1. Could this be a...
See? There it was.
Yeah,
I'm
could this
telling
be
you.
a Bologna or an SSL?
A long game on a 3-pointer.
Hmm.
I mean, at least, especially early game, if I have a remote with an amount of ice on it and an amount of agendas in my hand, it always feels good, even if you can't score it immediately, to kind of be able to scatter them about almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, instead of holding onto 2 in your hand, putting 1 in the remote.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah, the thing is, if it's an SSL, it's going to give Percomus more money, and if it's a Bologna, well, then he can comfortably lose Chris. So
yeah.
Oh, preparing the zoo for the assault, I guess. There's like a
Ooh.
Bahali and a back hitting the table.
early back, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like we saw in Pinsel's first game, it took him a while to find the back, and that was really rough against the PE deck.
Yep.
Enjoying the banter happening.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of the thing with this Mario. A lot of people have said that you always just name the same thing because once you switch whatever type
That's-
of card it is,
yeah.
then they're just going to install everything that they were holding.
Yeah.
Here we go, that's a score! And it's... Ooh, this is gonna be tough.
Alright.
Money in the bank.
SSL endorsement. So many interesting and beautiful alt arts of this card.
Yeah, it's such a... Like, the theme of it is so just ambiguous.
Yep.
I have 2 sets of alt arts of SSL. One set is the foil ones that Niemer made at German
Oh, yeah,
Nets,
those
and
are cool.
I have a set of Alexis's.
Which are so cute!
Ew.
And play number 1. I'm just trying to see. Indeed, so for those interested in Iberian Lockdown, SSL endorsement is actually banned in the upcoming edition.
Ooh.
Yeah. Tech trader on the table. And a technical writer on the table as well.
So paying through or giving Percomus 2 extra credits. It's pretty good. Down to
I mean,
3
if you
credits,
can-
so any run right now could be devastating.
Yeah.
Oof. That's a lot of stuff on the table.
Getting everything on the board.
Yeah. Sitting on a single credit, which means nothing because this is Geist, and Geist can just run with no credits and then end the run,
Yeah.
breaking 4 pieces of ice and ending with like 10 credits in the bank and just going, I'm sorry, I just got in.
Nice. So install advance. This could potentially be another SSL. If it's Bologna, Chris is currently unable to steal it, but could get enough credits by popping things.
Mm-hmm.
But would put him in prime, hard to do news range.
Yeah.
Or it's juking out with an NGO front.
I'm betting that it's an agenda.
Mhm.
Yeah, just jam it now.
Like, it seems like unless Peter has no way, like no hard-hitting news or anything to be able to capitalize on, if it's a Bologna, for instance, being able to capitalize kind of on that credit swing, it seems like a best-case scenario that it's an agenda.
And there's only 6 of them in the deck, so I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a bad idea just to capitalize on it now.
Yeah.
Quality banter. Bologna, okay.
Bam! So now we're just looking for the echo chamber.
Yeah. This can still be won though, because their Stargate R&D is totally open.
Mm-hmm.
This is still everybody's game. Or anybody's
Yes.
game. But basically, one of the 2 players, and everybody
Yes.
else, not really.
It could be mine.
If you want, yeah. 3 face down cards in archives, and I'm curiouser and curiouser what it could be. But here comes a bravado.
Mm.
Which
Good.
would... Hang on, does Bravado give credits after the run is ended?
Yeah.
Yeah, the run has
When
to
the run ends.
completely end. Yeah.
So he wouldn't be able to trash the Chrysium.
Netrunner, not net installer.
Yeah.
Good pep talk here. Yeah, thanks, Swifty.
Yeah, or in the case of my game against Swifty, it was Net Procoer.
In the tank.
Does he res it?
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see the Arella that's on HQ here.
Thinking with 22 credits, what's there to think about?
It's the fact that if he reses it, that Chris could pop things to gain even more money.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Well, there's the gold farmer.
That seems good.
Stay. Well, the thing is, there was no boomerang popping up, so that will.
I mean, with
Hook and Gabali.
the hook and the it's like it feels kind of bad, but at the same time, it seems okay.
Yeah, I mean, you
Give him
still
2
lose some
cards
money,
and 2 credits.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Choosing to
If
just
you
pay
use
the sit.
if you use
Oh.
cryptids,
Hmm.
if you use cryptids, does it cost an extra? Or they lose an extra credit? Would they lose an extra credit with the cryptids? Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
That was a pretty decent economy swing for Chris.
Yeah. Back in the game with a double digit.
Here comes the single install. Let's see it.
Or it's going to be a money and ice. Let me just check how many echo chambers are there. 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 1 preemptive. Drawing up, there's the scarcity.
Here we go.
Whoops. Rude.
Time for a fun time.
And again, as an aside, if anybody's interested in playing without any currents, RBN Lockdown has banned currents. Anyway, I'm shutting up. But no, the general feedback people gave after the event was like, yeah, without currents, it's a slightly different game and it's easier to deck build a bit.
Mm.
So yeah,
It does make for more interesting matchups, as we said on the previous one. That a lot of the currents are just blanket denial abilities, which is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what Chris does here. Just drawing up. And there's another tech trader.
Paying through the nose.
You gotta, I mean, there's
You
not a lot
gotta
of other
do it.
options. Alright.
Making
So-
that stack. Waiting for the echo chamber, it seems.
Yeah, just drawing for it.
Yeah.
Make that an annoyably oppressive, horrible thing to break.
Yes.
A lot of his ice, though, is fairly, how would I put it? Like, the slot machines don't really...
Yeah, they're money, but it's not. Does not say the 3 words and the run on them.
Exactly. The news hounds are... Yeah, he's putting 3 news hounds, which are pretty good with scarcity
Oh.
on the board. So, Alexis, what's your current analysis on this game? Like, how do you think it's going for both players?
I feel like Peter really, really needs to find either an agenda or an echo chamber in the next like 2 turns, or Geist is going to have everything that he needs to be able to get in.
Absolutely.
So it's a little scary because, yeah, I'm nervous for Peter.
I do think Peter currently is in the better position. Honestly,
a spy camera pop into a run on R&D. Yeah,
there's a boomerang.
This is Geist gaining momentum, and that could swing the game.
And definitely, depending on what is res safe from hard hitting news range at the moment. Like, it would not be worth it when.
Did give Peter 2 extra credits because he named hardware for Asmari, just preempting that boomerang.
Letting him in. See what we got. Bologna would be. Oh, yep.
There's a Bologna.
So still safe, but yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried for Peter.
Half of the agendas in the game are on the table then.
Yes.
Like if he finds it, he could theoretically hard hitting news and install the echo chamber.
Oh, true. See, another spy cam. Was there something sitting underneath it, I wonder?
We don't see the immediate run back, so I'm assuming no.
Yeah.
A quick look at the heap, and there's quite a lot of stuff in there. And I'm just wondering, has Chris been actually putting counters on the back?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there
Here
we go.
Double warfare.
Hang up.
Hang up. Gonna pop something just to go above 8 credits.
Rotor. And here we are.
Crashing Gamble and Masterwork.
Going for it anyways. So, that seems fine because it will take a whole turn away from Geist.
Yep.
And, yep.
A naming event.
Yeah. So the Asmari is running Boom over High Profile. So,
Just clearing the tags, going down to 0 credits seems decent.
Yeah,
if he doesn't clear them, he's losing his tech traders.
Yeah. Let's see if we get an install or an install advance.
Game is pretty tight, honestly.
Yep.
Extremely.
Excuse me.
All right.
Oh.
There's the install.
That
just
hard
money
install.
up.
Or double advance in NGO. Kidding.
Could still be a Rashida.
And okay.
Throwing back the scarcity just to annoy.
Install scarcity and clicking for a credit. Seems okay.
Yeah.
Echo Chamber does cost 4 credits to res, so he's got 7 credits to play with.
And Geist is safe for, probably. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, well, depends what you get. Sorry, I'm just thinking aloud. But like, you do have grappling hook and Bahalis, which is good. The boomerang is locked on an R&D eyes. You do have Corroder, which is kind of worthless or useless right now because no money.
I mean, theoretically, could have money.
Yeah, like depending on what's on server
just
1,
like-
yeah. We try
It's
and run
not
this.
looking good for Geist.
It does look like Peter has this, but we'll see. I mean,
it could just be a Rashida or, yeah.
it could be a Rashida. That's pretty much the only thing I think it could be.
Crisium grid.
Cinderella, right? Oh no, this is the wrong deck.
No, the Aurella's still on HQ.
Obviously.
We've established this. We've established
Yeah.
this.
We need a card called Filbert. Or Filibert?
I know.
I don't know.
Filibert.
Filibert, yeah. It's such a lovely name.
Yeah.
Terrible
And
to
every
remember.
time you res it, you can go, cheers, Filbert. Popping the back, getting some stuff back.
Getting
I
some
didn't-
money and getting a card for doing that? That seems fine right now.
I didn't see how many counters were on it.
Just one.
Just the one, so getting back 2 spy cams. Well, seems okay.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Going
A
for
spy
the-
cam was not popped this turn, so this is blind, I think.
This is a blind access, yeah.
They're probably just trying to get the boomerang things. Or
Yeah,
basically,
getting-
yeah.
Getting the boomerang popped is, I think, what he's going for.
Left.
But with 6 agendas in the deck and
Ooh.
only 3 agendas left in the deck, I mean, you can pretty much just trust your deck on this.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a rough situation with only being at 11 credits right now.
Echo
Those
Chamber
chambers
costs...
are not cheap.
Yeah, and they only cost 1 to break, so if he uses the Simul Chip, for example, he can trash it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
There's a big boy.
Thankfully, that big number doesn't really mean that matchup.
Yeah.
True, but he does lose 2 of the cryptids. Loses a cryptid and the grappling hook to break it.
Yeah.
Unless he can find... No, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have any credits to install anything off a Q loop.
Yeah.
He can get through 2 pieces of ice, basically.
Yeah. But then the thing is, even if you... Oh, because...
I mean...
No, I was just wondering, like, let's say you let the runner just let the guys go all the way to the root of the server, and then you have an echo chamber, which is what, 3 to trash. And if they didn't pop anything for the breaking, then they don't have the money to trash.
Conveniently here, though, he can res
Yep.
the Surveyor and a News Hound. Yep, okay. And be at still the right amount of money.
Yep.
That works out really well.
The thing is, Chris can pop the Simul Chip to get back
The
grappling hook.
Mm.
Amazing. Where did all of those credits come from, guys?
From under his
Amazing how
shirt.
that works.
He sold his shirt, and then he just got a...
He rummaged them out of the bin somewhere. I mean,
he pawned the shirt, and it...
okay, firing the trace.
So that's 2 credits. Match the... Oh, 3.
Oh, this is so close. Yeah, I don't think, the only resable things right now, slot machine wouldn't do anything.
Yeah,
I know the News Hound would be fine. IP block is fine.
Yeah.
Gold farmer.
I think Chris spent 1 credit too many on the trace, indeed.
Yeah, me too. I do think so as well, but
Well,
we shouldn't interfere.
no, of course we're not. We're not
It is signaling to me though that is a Rashida.
I would love that.
can keep Chris out with this last piece of ice and then pop the Rashida for 3 credits.
That would be huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
If it's
there's
like a
only
gold farmer or
3
something,
Yeah, if it's a gold farmer, that would actually be
pretty brutal.
pretty okay. Because then 0 credits, even if it is the echo chamber. Or no, because you'd have more than 0 credits, but not enough to trash, I think.
Not enough to get in again. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Oh, no res. And it was an echo chamber. Ouch. Yeah, this is... I honestly... I can't say who I think is in a better situation right now.
Oh, it's only 1 to trash. Excuse me, I always thought that echo chamber is 3 to trash. My mistake. It's only 1. Okay, well.
Oh, well, it's back.
Archive
it could
memories.
Be anything. It could be anything.
Ooh, yeah.
Peter, what? The one of archive memories coming in clutch.
In all caps. Rude. And just
So this seems good for Peter.
Yeah, and the cherry on top is just the click for credits. Like, yeah, you know.
Be like, yeah.
I mean, don't discount, guys. He still has ways to get through this.
Absolutely. I mean, 10 cards left. So yeah, there's
Chris pointing out in the chat, in the in-game chat, that he's just trying to point out that it's a corp favored meta. So Peter is playing right into his hands.
I'm inspecting the bin for goodies. And the simul chip is still on the table as well.
That simul chip is kind of the issue.
Yeah.
And again, Peter names hardware, preempting boomerangs.
Here's the bravado.
Oh, here we go.
This is a blind access as well.
Yeah.
I don't think Peter reses anything here.
No, with only 5 credits, that seems... yeah.
I mean, maybe Chris has like the Buckhalter in hand. That would be devastating.
I think there's a Buckhalter in the heap, and I don't know how many copies.
Yeah, but it's got a simul chip.
Alright, excusez-moi, indeed. Very true.
Yeah, be rough right now, though, unless he finds another grappling. Gives probably trash the corroder in order to be able to use the simul chip. Let's see what we got.
Oof!
Oh, gosh.
Well, that helps. One of those rare occasions in which you have the Corp losing 3 points and just saying, oh, that helps.
Oh,
these are the blind accesses that we call pure skill.
Pure skill.
Those are them sick rips.
Sick rips. Better lucky than good.
We have the chat calling out the double access on R&D just to win the game, because there's probably the next agenda there as well. 2 agendas left.
2 more agendas.
Yeah, in 19 cards that we don't know. Yeah. Because we all know that the HQ upgrade is an Arella, so she doesn't count as an agenda.
This is also really bad for that remote server. Turns out Newshound losing end the run is bad.
Bravado number 2. This is, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Hubba, hubba, hubba. 1 in 8 chance that this is an agenda there, indeed. So that's not bad maths.
That's okay odds.
Alright, let's see what happens.
Let's see. No, I don't think it is.
Oof.
Rashida.
That suspense is just killing me.
Yeah.
So I think server 1 is
In trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could symbol chip for the
Bug altar.
bug altar and just crack through that server.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's got a barrier there somewhere.
The only thing, I mean, only barriers are IP block and gold farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he trashes the corroder to get bug altar, then you can keep him out.
And no, none of them say just the words "end the run."
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Question, is doof an option here? We have 2 doofs in the bin, and I think there are 3 in this deck, right? So
I mean, the Chrysium on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's expensive though.
yeah.
So it's yeah. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't run server 1.
Chris saying, I really wanted to win the game on that run, would have really simplified these next 2 clicks. And Peter's response, you already got an agenda this turn, don't be too greedy.
Oh, that is true. Forgot that SSL will actually give Peter money next turn, so
Yep. So he's
could
got
impact on what he decides to res.
True,
If
but you still need 4
he runs server
credits.
1. Yeah.
true, but he has 4 credits to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
Which
if
can
you-
res everything except for the
Surveyor.
surveyor.
I think that's all 3 bravados in the bin now, right? Yep. So we've got all 3 bravados gone. There's 2 grappling hooks gone, 2 Gabalis gone.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is running out of options, and he's already popped his single copy of the back.
I am glad that I don't have to make the decisions in this game
Mhm.
because, whew.
This is the perfect time for a commercial break. No, I'm kidding. Well, Bali on the table.
Yeah, Gabali coming out. Peter probably really, really hoping that Chris installs a hardware because an extra $2 could be very substantial.
Yep. Here we go.
All right.
Approaching the surveyor. Now what?
I assume I don't know. I was gonna say maybe this would be fine to use the Gabali and what? Can't when you try and overinstall a unique thing, JNet trying to install.
Yeah.
So that just means he has to manually trash. There we go.
Yeah. Otherwise, wouldn't look good. There goes the actual boomerang of the run. So that actually nets Peter 2 credits.
Seems okay.
But will it be enough? Survey getting boomeranged.
Oh, Peter is getting the 2 credits from his Mari, so now having $6 to play with, and enough for a second surveyor, it turns out.
Nasty, nasty. But I think that just means corroder off the table and simul chipping into the book halter.
Coming in.
Yep, there we go. Oh.
Oh.
Grappling? That might...
Okay.
Yeah, I can break
That
both
seems
of these
fine.
with the Geist breakers and then trace through.
I mean, and there's
accounts.
also Gabali, yeah. So just using those,
Fair enough.
which ends up saving a lot more money.
True.
Ugh. I mean, we can hope for an IP block on the inside, but ouch.
Good point. I forgot the current.
I think you let the echo chamber go at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh man, this
He
is
has
really not
almost
looking good.
he has almost no way of getting back into this remote, so
Yeah.
just let it go, money up a bit, and then just jam an agenda, I guess, or jam the second echo chamber.
Hmm.
This is the second echo chamber.
No,
Is it?
this is the same one. It got
Oh,
archived.
this. Oh, excuse me. Yes, you're absolutely
yeah.
right. Yeah, you're absolutely
So
right.
still one, yeah.
Okay. How many archive memories does?
So I mean, it's Geist has a deck that's now 3 boomerangs, which
That's
by
basically it, yeah.
my math is the number that you want.
So the interesting thing about
man.
this is Mari is that it's running 1 archive memories and 1 preemptive action. So yeah.
There is another grappling hook in the deck somewhere, and 2 more symbol chips. So there is a possibility to get a breaker back.
Oh, here we go.
So the stack only has 1 thing left in it right now. So there's just 1 symbol. Is there 3 symbol chips in the deck?
I thought so.
Yeah, because there's 2 in the trash right now, and only
There's
1
2
card
symbol chips in the game in the deck.
which
Sorry.
should be.
There's 2 of them. Sorry.
Oh,
2
so yeah, no
boomerangs
more
in the
symbol
bin as
chips,
well.
but all you really need is 3 boomerangs. But oh no, you can't. That's not how that works. Never mind.
Yeah, they're unique.
Yeah, never mind. What am I saying? Woof.
It's fine. Just checking that top card. Is it an agenda?
Is
Find out.
Stargate in the bin? That's a good question. I assume it's not. So there's a
Nope.
We'll see
Stargate
it.
still in the hand. And here it is. Whoopsie whoopsie. This might be clutch.
This gives Percomas 2 extra credits because he named program.
That seems relevant.
This is the squeaker. I mean,
You make squeaky sounds. Squeak. Oh, okay. Yeah. Here we go. Stargating with a boomerang because, of course, why not?
So is this a Stargate after a spy? Yeah, I guess he wouldn't be Stargating after seeing an agenda with the spy camera. So
I don't think so.
yeah, scary. I don't think he res that to give a boomerang back, but I don't know.
Thinking about it. It is scary. It's 3 cards.
I mean, yeah, a gold
there's a-
farmer, I guess, on the inside would be a best case scenario here.
You can still pay through it, but yeah.
If it's a
And
gold
then
farmer
wouldn't
on
have enough to steal a Bologna, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Got it.
Find out what this is, I guess.
It's an
it's just
IP
not
lock. Also paying 3 credits. If he boosts it by 1.
Oh yeah, if boost by 1, he'll still be able to do the echo chamber, and if he sees Bologna, won't be able to.
Exactly.
Oh,
I would actually boost it by.
This is the close one, folks.
by-
Yeah.
I would boost it by.
oh yeah, you can boost it by more because
or
there's
3.
an SSL on the
Yeah,
table.
4. You boosted by 4.
Yeah.
Strength 3. Okay, well, is he paying up though? That's the question.
Thing is, I forgot. He would have to boost it by 2 at least because Geist has a link.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is the question: is Peter boosting the trace? Is that SSL is still gonna pay out if there's a next turn? Yeah, pays all in. Oh wow, all in.
Nice.
But
It seems a bit excessive. Like it could be a Rashida.
yeah.
Time to see.
Okay, that's a whiff.
Whew. Man, the whiff this late into the game is scary.
Also, pretty good that he's seen the Christian grid, so they can stop Stargate accesses.
Yeah. 3 cards left. No,
If that's a Rashida, he's gonna gain 3 credits. See 2 new cards.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Boom.
harangue.
Dang, this is so close.
Yeah.
Wow.
Peter really playing to his outs. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, both players. I mean, Chris also really playing to his outs. This is some really high skill Netrunner. I mean,
Yeah.
Not that they aren't decks that we haven't seen before, but
There we go. That's
mean-
incursion.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, there goes the ice. That was boomerang. Yeah, that's just locking Geist out completely like that.
all right. We have 3 boomerangs in the bin. So yeah, that's. I
Wait.
think that's game over.
Would you call them binnerangs? Excuse me.
Hey.
Binnerangs. The puns.
Oh yeah, technically speaking, that boomerang would not have been trashed, but yeah, I mean it's a convenience move. Just you want to avoid going like, oh, I have a boomerang because it's useless.
Yeah, there's no.
Rebirth
Sorry.
into Omar. Great line of play there. Yes. I love the chat for just having so many interesting things to say because yeah, it's all entertaining and there's a lot of stuff that's also.
Yeah, sorry I
on
haven't been
point.
keeping up with chat. It's I have one screen, so.
Yeah.
All right. Do we see any outs for Chris in this game? Because I
I don't
honestly
think so.
don't.
Rebirth into Omar right now.
I mean, there's face downs in archives.
That is true.
We can't forget. Really playing the long bluff on that. Oh, there's one echo chamber in the bin right
One that we know of actually, because
now. Well,
who printed Gold Farmer? Well, we have some answers to that particular statement, but
yeah, I think we actually know exactly who.
yeah, but I'm not gonna point any fingers because I don't have arms this long or fingers that long to point out the right person right now.
I was pointing out that you could just bypass it with money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Chris doesn't have money.
Halfway there.
I'm not seeing anything Chris can do, honestly.
No way to get that corroder back. No more boomerangs left, right?
If I smoked, I would smoke a cigarette after this game. That's yeah. I think the banter is really like high level as well.
Yeah,
It really is.
I don't know Chris personally, but I do know that Percomus really psychs himself up for these games. Like, he's a good player, but he really focuses, so I can imagine that he's under quite a bit of pressure.
Here's an IP block number 2.
Yeah. Shoutouts to the SSL on the board,
Yep. Value.
letting all of these fun things happen. Yeah, it's just
Yes, yeah, end the run here.
yeah. Or make him pay and have the second one keep him out.
Phase 3, he has to boost it by 3.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
a second one behind it, so it's like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I wouldn't boost. Right? Yeah.
Makes no sense indeed. So I'm pretty sure we've
Hang into
got
it anyways.
we're going down to the last match of the that could possibly go down.
If he has the
Isn't there there'd be one more after this, yeah? If Peter wins?
Yep. Chances are that's gonna happen. Looks like it. And here we go.
This.
Mm.
Whew. Man, oh man.
What a game, what a game.
That was a nail biter.
Yeah, wow. Woohoo. I'm like, ugh, like I need to calm down after that one. You know what I mean? It's like you
take
get
it-
super amped up.
Take a cold shower.
Go for a walk.
Oh well, hey,
All right, so
is
that means that
quite
we're
something.
actually going down to the last matchup, which is Leech Road, aka Mike Prosser, coming in with Hoshiko and Blue Sun.
Yep, and I'm going to pull the slide up in a second so you can all see it in its beautiful graphical glory.
It is quite nice.
Oh, thank you so much. Very kind of you. So that's gonna be.
We have-
Oh, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
we have
know,
two.
Blue Sun. I'm voting for Blue Sun.
Yeah, we have two possible matches. It's going to be Blue Sun against APOC Valencia, or it's going to be Hoshiko against this Asmari deck. Any predictions
on,
that you
Blue
guys
Sun.
have? Yeah.
I want the Blue Sun so bad. I'm like, that's just because I'm biased.
Yeah, people are going for the Blue Sun as an option, but I'm also starting a poll in the chat to predict which team is going to take the overall win, NWE or UK. You can vote, of course.
Ooh.
And we'll see what the chat thinks.
You have confirmation that apparently we were wrong. That Mike is going to run his Hoshiko against this Asmari deck.
Oh.
Ooh la la. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Blue Sun personally.
I know I want the Blue Sun so bad.
Exactly, right? Can we have an 8th game after this, just for the fun?
Yeah, can we just... As a fun one?
Yeah.
And it kind of surprises me, to be honest, because I think Blue Sun does have a lot of outs against an Apocalypse deck. Honestly. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so as well. I don't know. It's APOC on either side, it looks like.
I'm just pulling up the Hoshiko deck now.
Yeah. We have them in the chat as well. Thank you so much, Princess Space Kitten, for being awesome and posting things in the chat. So let's take a quickie looky at the last hope of Team UK. Actually, but this is really cool. This has been really interesting. Like it started in a very rough way, but now we're progressing towards super spicy and exciting games. APOC Hoshiko versus a 6 agenda is Mari, with all the terrible things happening to you if you run and face check gold farmers and whatnot.
I'm glad we got the PE out of the way early. So now that these decks can be the end ones.
Indeed. I mean, imagine the PE game being the last one. Ugh. But yeah.
Maybe that was just Team UK being generous to us.
And not to spoil anything, and I have no official confirmation, but there are chats in the background of all this happening that there will be a Fight Club format coming soon. In general, like making it a bit more formalized and getting more teams on board as well. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled and check all the usual channels for news about that. And I hope we're gonna get it started before the quarantine ends, because I really love the format. It's really cool. It could use with a bit of tweaking, but I've heard about some possible tweaks and I'm like, yay. So yeah.
Cool. Ooh, we could slap together a Colorado team.
You totally should.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, anybody can throw together a team. We're gonna see, well, just how far Nisei can or are willing to support the format, but there has been some talks around the water cooler. We'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to run a European. Well, I mean, not to make it like continental or anything, but like it would be easiest for me to run in Europe. But like a non-Nisei European league with teams from different cities or metas participating and some interesting price support. But this format, I think, it's probably a bit more exciting than a league, because you would just have teams with a round robin, so everybody plays everybody, I guess.
I like the idea of having like a knockout format.
Yeah.
It makes it the game's a bit more high stakes. It makes it a bit more exciting to watch as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot more on the line.
Yeah.
Finals in this format.
The
Beanstalker ANR.
That's Rotouch. That's Rotouch.
Rotouch. What do you mean? Could do the finals in this format?
I don't know, like you... Oh, like the top 4 players playing that? No, I don't get it. No, maybe. Depends on the finals. Oh, European League idea. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? There are options on the table. I think everybody's right now taking a well-deserved break, but I see from my booth that we're in the final game area. So, this is it, final game. Get ready to roll with this. Interesting. So I'm actually gonna check with the chat. What are the votes? Because I ran a poll. It's still gonna run for like a couple of minutes. You can vote by using exclamation mark vote and then either NWE or UK as an option. And we'll see what people. Yeah, exactly. The bot just. Oh yeah. Okay. It actually just closed right now. Let's take a look. What happened? So yeah. Nobody voted. Oh come on. I'm gonna open it again because maybe people were a bit confused with this. And you can remember. You can just vote with the exclamation mark vote. Excusez-moi. NWE or UK. And then yeah. You have to use vote. You have to use vote as the keyword. And we'll see. Okay. Are you getting ready for the game? Are you excited?
Get ready to rumble.
I am on the edge of my. After that last game, I am like still riding that amped up feeling. I am hyped for this.
Yeah. Okay, we still have a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna really quick pop to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I was getting a bit sleepy just because I had a weird night and day and not enough coffee. But now I'm kind of awake after this last game, which was really a nail biter. I mean, you know, like every single click mattered. Every single click, every single access mattered. That was awesome.
Yes, it was like there was no clear cut person who was ahead.
Yep. We have a ton of votes for Team UK, probably because we have a ton of UK meta players in the chat. But well, I mean that's what democracy is.
Everyone else might be on the German.
Yeah. Well, that's probably if they're holding a poll or a vote on the German Twitch, which by the way is Herr Labes. I should put it in as well for anybody interested in this, because it's run by Labes, who's an awesome person.
Yes.
Hello, Binary Dogs. Thank you for joining the stream and following. And we're in the game!
Let's do it.
I'm pretty sure Hoshiko is speechless, so a mulligan? No quotes, sorry, indeed. We're gonna fix that at some point. We need some quotes for Hoshiko. Hoshiko is keeping and Asmari is mulliganing, and that mulligan could be quite an interesting option here, I have to say, because who knows what just happened there. But then again, if you have only 6 agendas, mulliganing is kind of less risky, right?
I mean, theoretically.
True, true.
I love mulling into 9 points while I'm playing this deck. It's my favorite.
And we're off to the races. I'm closing the poll right now.
I want to point out that this Hashiko isn't playing like the cards associated with the identity, so things like Keiko and the
whole companion suite.
Yeah, it's. I think it's just running it for tempo, for value, for the link.
I mean, that seems fine. Like, Hoshiko is just for value, seems totally fine.
Yeah, it looks pretty much. It has a rebirth as well.
Oh, well, there you go.
And some apocalypses.
Just to get a bit of speed, you know. It looks very much like a Valencia APOC deck, but without having to put 5 extra cards in it.
Mm-hmm. And that, I mean, that alone could be justification. Smaller deck.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Less
risky than playing it out of max.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that too.
So, what's the plural of apocalypse? Apocalypse? Oh, of course. I mean, it's apocalypses.
Like an ellipsis, you know, apocalypse.
Or maybe. I mean, yeah, if we were to make it nicer.
Apocalypse.
That's a good one.
Alright, so we're jamming something on server 1.
Here we go.
But this is not a jammy deck. Then again, you don't want to wait. Probably.
Especially when you're playing against an APOC deck.
This hot in from the sidelines. Another deck name could be Apocalypsis.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Paperclip in the bin. Getting all the toys ready.
All right, so we got cards coming in. We got money coming in.
Yeah.
That looks like a juicy agenda.
Mm.
We have Clippy in the bin and no other breakers right now.
That big old scarcity sitting there.
Yeah.
Ouchies.
When I think back to like the first week of the quarantine and then I don't even remember who it was, but it was an amazing contribution. Basically, the card with noise. What's the name? Well, I don't remember. But...
The Nihilist?
No, but scarcity of resources with noise and a ton of toilet paper behind him. That was awesome.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
it's so good. Like the Hard at Work.
Hard at Work.
Hard at Work, yeah, that was just beautiful. Okay, we have MK Ultra in the bin now. Mm-hmm. Time is ticking for the corp, so...
Interestingly, Percoma's named Event, which is interesting. Because he could have capitalized on the 2 credits, knowing that this Hoshiko deck runs 3 DDoS, and he's only got 1 piece of ice on each server.
So now the question, would you APOC here now, if you could?
Probably not.
I don't know, like...
Well, he's got enough money, it doesn't really matter.
If I had things, like if I mean, got $21 over there, $24 over there, and I had everything, like, I had the DDoS and an APOC, I mean, I don't know, I would.
And it's also running amped up. So, I mean, but you need a bit of setup to get that running.
Yeah.
All right. Getting in that sweet SSL money. And jamming another... I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's an NGO.
Yeah, that's brave against a deck with so many DDoS in it.
And Peter names Event again, by the way.
And we do have the entire Breaker Suite in the bin, for those who haven't noticed it yet.
Yeah.
And 24 credits is not a small number. That happened really fast.
Yeah, Liberated. I mean, that gets you quite a pretty penny.
So, knowing that this is an NGO, would you still run uncontested or not?
Gotta keep everyone honest, you know?
Yeah.
You never know.
I don't know.
I like those 4D, like when you're playing 4D chess with someone and you're like, they can get in, and they know that they can get in, and they know that I know that, so I'm gonna do this thing because they're gonna think that, you know, it's like you gotta do the several layers and install the agenda in that server.
Keeping him honest. I mean,
yeah,
could be just feeding him another SSL to get 6 credits a turn.
Yeah,
but that seems unlikely.
You never know. Yeah, Bologna is.
Yeah, it doesn't do much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, the baby surveyor. Here he comes.
Baby surveyor.
Just forcing him to install. I guess why not?
Yeah.
So interestingly, as I'm looking over this, there's 2 career fairs in this deck, which is good for things like Liberated, Earthrise, DDoS, Daily Casts. Like all of his resources are good targets for it. And also just a single stim hack.
Hey, you never know. Win hack.
Yeah, win hack. But then you could also play 3 win hacks.
That's a Bologna.
Oh, it is a Bologna.
There goes your NGO theory. And by the way, Mar just guided us. Yeah, indeed, when you're playing Scarcity, you can keep naming event because resources are going to be costing the runner extra anyway. Rebirth.
Oh, absolutely.
Into.
Oh.
Mar.
Here he comes.
Oh,
losing the NGO.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah. That
Team UK coming out strong in this game.
Yeah, wow. Oh well, yeah. At least now that now the runner has no access to a single link, so that's something, I guess.
Yeah, there's not much we can do about that link strength, but we will just have to remember.
I'm honestly surprised that Earthrise doesn't see more play. Like, I know it's 40 install, but like, for example, I've been playing a lot of Smoke recently, and I've slotted 3 Career Fairs and 3 Earthrises into it just to get Clickless Draw, and it just feels so much better.
It is good value because for 4 credits you do get 6 cards. So
yeah, and if you can Career Fair it, it's a credit. It's a credit for 6 cards.
Yeah, worth it.
Seems pretty good.
I think this is swinging towards Runner. This game,
big time. I mean, APOC territory is like super. Oh dear, is this? My senses are telling me that APOC might be approaching soon.
Yeah, there was a Stargate discarded. I just also do want to point out that Mike is running 2 of them.
Here comes the DDoS. We all know what's gonna happen next turn.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this looks pretty rough for Peter.
Yeah. See, it was installed there. Server 1. It'd be great. Oh no, no Rashida. All right.
Is it the Echo Chamber?
Hey, you know,
that would be quite
you gotta
something.
do it.
Well, thing is,
how many Chrysiums are in this deck?
2, I
2?
think. Yeah. And I was going to say, like...
It is
oh,
the
there you go! And yeah, so there are 2 Chrysiums, and the thing is, you have 14 pieces of ice, so even if you lose the 5 here on the table to next turn, APOC, they're gonna be fine.
Here it comes, yeah. Bam. 30 laundering through.
Scared.
Hard hitting. Ooh.
HHN. See if you can snipe an agenda here.
Nope.
Why would you run archives? No.
Wait a minute.
Oof.
Like an APOC animation.
I know like a couple ago on April Fools is when like the sound effects first appeared on JNet.
Oh yeah.
I remember I was playing an APOC deck that day on April Fools. And when you'd play APOC, it did like the "This is Sparta" quote. It was incredible.
This is Sparta. Nice. All right, so playing Archive Memories to bring back a random
unseen card.
Probably ice, yeah.
Oh, please, ice R&D.
Yeah, chances are there's a target in the hand.
Yeah.
Pretty even in credits now, though, so that's pretty good.
Okay.
We'll point out that Mike still has his entire Breaker suite in the bin.
Yeah.
And $20.
So it does kind of feel like Peter is scrambling now, but getting the Echo Chamber down and now just kind of rebuilding and hoping he can do it fast enough. I think that's the out he's going for.
It's just
but
hard
another Liberator hitting the table.
Yeah. Like you're gonna need a lot of ice to be able to stop him from going through. Oof.
$23 cards and left in R&D and 4 more agendas. 4 more juicy 3-point agendas.
Yeah, this isn't looking good for the corp, excuse me, but yeah, well, you have to do what you have to do and not concede. I mean, you'll have a chance. You just have to score an agenda.
You know, I wonder if it's worth even putting that ice on archives because there's a DDoS in play.
I think I do think it's mainly to stop Omar accesses.
Oh, Omar, that's right. You'd still have to pop a DDoS for one of the servers.
No, definitely, but if there's no ice there, then Omar can just get a free access.
Oh yeah, just do whatever. Okay, that's fair.
Right, icing up some more, or shoring up HQ a bit more, which could signal that there's some juicy stuff. Ooh,
I was hoping for this because
Hey!
double icing Archive is probably the play as well. I mean, it's not gonna stop the runner, but it's gonna at least tax him up a bit. Oh well, unless never
I
mind.
mean this Hashiko deck is drenched in money. I mean,
Yeah, 31 right now. I mean, they haven't really needed to install anything.
Yeah.
Yikes.
it would be like really interesting to like hear what Peter's thought process is right now, like what he considers his out to be. Oh, and there's a scarcity. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Mike can get through all of this and APOC,
Yeah.
but it's going to cost him a lot of money, which puts him in hard hitting news range.
Yeah, but Peter's gonna be really low on ice after that.
That is true.
Like really low.
I think he might be looking for economy and just going for the kill, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, I don't know if scoring out is viable right now.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
so few ice left.
Yeah, Mike can basically just wait until he tries to score.
No, they're gonna get to time. That's it. In an untimed game. I'm gonna call it.
Classic.
We're just drawing up right now. Samari naming event. So to stop things like stim hacks and ape, or to capitalize on yeah. Here we go. Popping the DDoS. Let's see what happens. This is just an archives run?
It's like decent.
Oh.
Against
Ooh.
Ouch.
Oh no.
There's a Bologna.
I wonder though if that will put the credit differential in Peter's favor.
Probably not.
I think that's what he's banking on, honestly.
I don't know if you take this.
Yeah, Mike can just leave it.
Yeah, I don't know if you steal this.
Who decided NAPD didn't cost enough? Well,
Like having a deep think.
yeah. I would take it because I would be at 20 and I still have 3 clicks left, but then again, I don't see, of course, Mike's hand.
I don't know. I would leave it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What machines?
Time to
Roll
roll
them
them bones.
bones. Event.
No!
That's a jackpot.
Yeah, advancing that thing. See what we got.
Could it be a Bologna? That's
I
why.
don't know.
Oh, well.
They seem.
Do you have mausoleus? What?
Well,
He has no advanceable ice in this deck.
I know he's just memeing.
Here comes Omar to get into HQ.
Is gonna get that. Ape.
Oh
no!
That's just rude. Oh,
Yeah, that's game. That is game.
Wow, that was a lot of agendas really
yeah.
early.
Flood alert indeed. That just
Oh.
did not play well.
All right,
Man.
that's Team UK taking this one.
Oof. Turn 13. And
Ooh.
Going down to 0 credits to steal it.
triple Bologna steal, though. This is like, yeah, I don't care. Take my money.
Yeah, I figured he had a.
Wow.
Peter confirming what I figured, that he had a preemptive in his hand to get the Bologna back next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing that many agendas that early, seeing no Crisium grids. Yeah, that was not. Ugh.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right, yeah, big ups to Team UK. Well played.
Yeah, played really, really well there.
This was really, really exciting in all possible ways, and that just means that we have one person left standing on the table. On the table in the game. I mean, I don't know. Maybe everybody's playing at home, I guess. So you could be standing on a
It
table.
could be anywhere.
Yeah, you could be standing in several different places, interesting places. But this was quite exciting. I'm just trying to be super duper professional here and put together this final graphic very quickly on the go, which is loads of fun as well. Yeah, but that was I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like the highlight of the whole match was the previous game. I mean, not to take away, of course, from Mike's playing, because he played a very good game and did just all the right things the right way. But I think for entertainment value, I would say that the previous game was like the game. What would you say?
The Geist game, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. That game was wild. That was one of the most exciting games I've seen in quite some time, I could say.
Can we get Leech Road on comms, do you think?
Oh, if anybody can come in, sure. I mean, let's have people joining if they can. So I would just...
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Well, good games. That was a very interesting night. Sorry for saying that, it's not good, but much better than the last time. Those PE games were terrible. Those has been interesting games, nerve-wracking, and congratulations to UK for taking the win on this one.
Yeah,
Yes.
congrats to Team UK.
The 2nd of May, we will come back with UK versus
Boswash?
Yeah.
Boswash.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Boswash.
And we will have intel on that will happen soon. And thanks everyone. Thanks Vesper, Thomas, and Alexis for commentating. You've been a great team.
No problem.
And
Only because of the other two people in the room. Do you think we can get? I mean, I don't know if they're interested, but can we get like the team captains into the room?
I will try to get.
Yeah, try. I mean, no pressure, of course, because it's late and whatnot. But yeah. Ooh, thank you so much for organizing this as well, Mar. This was awesome, and I really think that this format, if we manage to figure out, or if not we, but like if it gets shaped up a bit and tweaked a slight bit, yeah, I guess it's gonna be quite awesome and exciting. So congratulations.
I think that can be a really nice format to let everyone in. Of course, the Fight Club, where like players in all of them, and this format being streamed with only these teams as a very how do you say it, an impact people have on how people sees this. Vesper, I'm needed for the link. Oh, there you go. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so Polly will jump on stream, and I will let you going. Yeah, I'm very excited to try and push this forward and make it available for all people that wants to participate in this kind of like king of the table 4 versus 4. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and see you soon. Polly, congratulations.
Hello. Thank you.
I'm leaving now the stream, so you folks have the ground, okay?
Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right, we've got team captain for UK, Polly G, with us. We're gonna see if we can get Paul Percomiscent as well, just to talk about the games today. So, Paul, what did you think?
I mean, yeah, honestly, I think the games largely went how we thought they would when we looked at the matchups and we sort of talked about what was going to happen, and so I think both teams probably put in the right lists at the right time. So when they got to choose, I think we wouldn't have disagreed with anything that NWE put in. And yeah, I think there were some exciting games, maybe in contrast to what we saw on Wednesday.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Was it a conscious choice? We alluded to it earlier. Was it a conscious choice to put in Kenny on PE in the first round?
Yeah, we thought so. So we thought that there was a good chance that they would put Pencil in first because he didn't get to play against Boswash, and we felt like both of the matchups for Kenny were pretty good there. We thought that Geist would have a horrible time against PE, although we didn't think it would take 70 minutes or whatever it took. And we thought that the other way around, the Haley against Acer was okay. So yeah, it was a sort of calculated gamble, I guess. That because the Geist and the Acer lists are really strong. So if we particularly if we rolled the PE, the ability to knock Pencil out seemed really good. So yeah.
Yeah, getting the world champion out of the way immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, turns out he's a pretty good player. So yeah.
Seems like a solid strategy. So I don't know if you guys have looked over the Boswash decks. Like, absolutely don't have to discuss any strategies or anything, but is it something that you've already been considering? Like,
Oh, a
what
little
to play?
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so before the decks got published, obviously, well, not obviously, but we sort of sat down and chatted about what we thought both teams would play, and we had some clues to what Boswash were going to play. We sort of know they have they clearly have a real Argus expert in Laura, and we knew they would play Titan, and we strongly suspected that they were going to play CTM. So we sort of, I guess, in the run up to the decks being we were trying to figure out what they were going to play. But after the decks got published, so far we've largely been concentrating on the NWE matchups in terms of talking through what might be good and looking at the decks and doing a little bit of practicing matchups and things. So we'll get on to looking at the Boswash lists soon. But yeah, I think there'll be some interesting games next week when we play. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Clockgeist. That's an exciting list.
Plotgeist, yeah.
Yeah.
we have a few comments from Kizra from the Boswash team. Please discuss your strategies. Also, Chris said my CTM deck was not a real CTM deck. Can you comment on this?
Look, I'm not in a position to disagree with anything that Chris Dyer says about CTM. I have played against Chris on the CTM twice, and he has wiped the floor with me. So I'm not going to disagree with what he might say. I'm not a CTM expert at all. So I will leave that between Kisra and Chris.
There you go. Thank you.
So how are you gauging it? You think your odds are pretty good?
I don't know. I like this. I think like the games today, or the match against WWE was I think was pretty close. I mean, we saw it went down to the last game, and I think against Boswash, it's it could well be similar. It's a team of incredibly strong players, and yeah, I don't think we're overconfident for sure.
Got some good Amani tech.
Yeah, right. we saw that. We'll be talking to Kenny about his Procos and how many times he should or should not install them.
All right. So give us perhaps what your favorite game of the series was.
Oh my goodness. I think. That's a very difficult question.
The PE game.
Like from a pure, people are going to boo this. From a purely technical point of view of what you should do, I thought that the Geist versus PE game was pretty interesting. It went on for a long time, and I know a lot of people hated it. but I actually thought that as the choice that Pinsel had as Geist of how you try and play against that when everything you do starts to windmill you through your deck, how you maximize your back counters, how you maximize getting those boomerangs back and not sort of getting through your deck too much. But I agree it wasn't maybe an exciting game, but I thought from a purely technical point of view and thinking about what the line actually was, I thought that was quite interesting. From a sort of more exciting point of view, I think watching the sports deck that Aska was playing is always exciting. Seeing some just kind of jamming in remotes and stuff is always pretty fun. So yeah, those are enjoyable to me.
Nice. All right. We are gonna get Peter in a minute.
Oh, the other thing I could probably add is
Yeah. Go ahead.
because Peter will agree with this when he arrives. One of the drivers behind this was this discussion about whether this was a runner or a corp favored meta, and I think of the 7 games, corp won 4 in this series, so I think that's pretty conclusive.
Yeah. Like even just like in our group of Netrunner friends, last night we were talking about it, and I think the general consensus, it is a pretty corp favored meta.
Well, it's interesting. That's the consensus in the UK and in certainly in the NWE testing group, and it sounds like in other parts of Europe. But as I say, the Boswash team had a very different view, and it'll be interesting. I don't know that this format really solves it, because this format is all about putting in decks specifically targeted to take out based on your best matchup. So it's not really like playing against a representative sample of the meta with each of your decks. So it's a very fun format. It doesn't really settle this disagreement. But hey, Corp 4-3 in this matchup, and I'm sure Pete would agree that that's pretty conclusive.
Yeah, we've just got Peter in as well. So I don't know if you picked up on that. We were talking about if it's a corp or runner favored meta right now. Peter, what are your thoughts?
I still think it's corp favorite meta. Like I was pretty close. I just needed 1 or 2 Crisiums, I think. But so I still think it's corp favorite because there's more variance in the options of strong corp decks than strong runner decks, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So like if you want a strong runner, you're probably playing 419 or APOC something, maybe Val or Hoshiko. But if you want a strong corp, you can play Titan, you can play Kazmari, you can play Asa, Argus, apparently grindy PE decks. So, those are all options.
There are a lot of really strong corp options, and it's a lot narrower when it comes to runners.
Yeah, I think this is something that you said, Thomas, when we were discussing this. Like, there's a lot of, so there's only a couple of tier 1 runners, and there's no like really real tier 2 or something, if that makes sense. But there's a lot of tier 2, tier 1.5 corps, and that kind of shows the imbalance, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Peter, as team captain for NWE, if you're looking back on this last series that we had, what are your thoughts?
I think generally the team played well. Mistakes were made, like even in this game. Like so, the good thing about having a very, very good team is after every match, they will point out the mistakes you made. So whenever we go back to Discord, we'll talk about the plays and like questionable plays, and we'll discuss them. So mistakes were definitely made. I think we were a bit unlucky in certain situations, but of course UK had their share of unluck as well. I don't know. I think we fought well. I think we just needed a bit more luck in certain situations. But I mean, it was close, right? We came back for this one with the last 2 games, so it was like down to the last game. The US one went better in terms of probably we had more luck there as well. But yeah, I think the team is great. I love all of them, and I would play with them again any time of the day.
Yeah, they were all like very, very entertaining games to watch. It was very high level Netrunner. That's always a good thing.
The game against Chris. Sorry, the game against Chris. I was literally shaking. I had to go out in the garden and just take a couple of beaters afterwards. It was a close one.
It was a nail biter, honestly. I have no words. So I'm gonna put you to this, Peter. The next night of Fight Club is Team UK against Boswash.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you for a prediction.
Temptations of how to resolve the situation. I know. I mean, I think UK has a better lineup in terms of decks. But like this whole tournament series came out of discussion that we don't agree on like what the best decks are. I might be saying this because the UK decks are a bit closer to us, aside that atrocious PE deck.
And the CTM.
Yeah. And like the weird Blue Sun deck. I'm kind of sad we didn't see the Blue Sun in action. I would be really curious to see what it does.
I think everybody was very sad not to see the Blue Sun deck.
I mean, if I would have to pick, I would say I think UK might win the next one, but I think there will be also fairly close games. And like, as you saw, I think a lot of times a bit luck here, a bit unluck there can decide these games. So it could go either way, but I think UK is a slight bit favored. If for nothing else, because they also have a former world champion on the team.
Fair enough. Is like in the event that Boswash wins against UK, then it's a stalemate, that everybody's 1-1. Is there a way to determine, or are we just going to leave it at every region is just as good?
I think that's
again.
Yeah, I mean those are the two options, yeah, right? Like we either do this whole thing again, but I think the saner option is just like everyone to step away and say we're all just equally good. The decks are equally good. Everyone figured out their share of meta, and then just leave it at that.
Seems good. All right, I'm gonna say GG, well played to everybody. Thank you, both team captains, for the great games. Gonna hand it over to Vesper.
Yeah, congratulations for great performances. It was really super exciting, and I'm super happy we could actually pull it off without any technical issues. And really looking forward to the third round. I think Thomas put all the right questions on the table here, so I don't think I can add anything anymore. I mean, I don't know. What else could I add? Do the people on the chat have any questions? Let's maybe open this up. And I'm just going to remind you that the third and final round of Fight Club is going to be coming on the 2nd of May, more or less. That's at least the official date for now. And it will be Team Boswash versus Team UK. So we have Pumice. Hello, Pumice. Extraordinary performance indeed. Performance. Anyway, that third round is gonna be streamed as well. You're gonna, I don't know if here or somewhere else, but it's gonna be, of course, directed and played out live on JNet. So keep your eyes peeled. There's gonna be more information about this soon. And yeah, I think we had a very nice evening of exciting Netrunner of different colors as well, because we had all corps represented, I think, right? Yeah. And did we have all the runners represented? Well, we were missing Apex. I was missing Apex a lot, but well, that's just a personal pet peeve. We should get more hype. We should get hype for more PE. Well, yeah, that's probably inevitable. So bring popcorn and a book to read in between rounds, because it's going to be quite interesting to see that PE melling people. But yeah, I believe we're going to be wrapping the stream up with that then. Once again, huge thanks for everybody watching. Huge thanks for everybody organizing. So Princess Space Kitten /Mar and Thomas /ClusterFox and Peter /Percom is for coming up with the format. And then for everybody, for all the teams and all the team captains and all the people you may have not heard today, but they were definitely an active part of this spectacle of high stakes Netrunner of the highest level. Looking forward to seeing you soon or enjoying your presence online on the 2nd of May. for the third round. And yeah, have a good evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is you're having. Always be running, sometimes be organizing. Stay safe, and talk to you soon.
Hack the planet!
Hack the planet!
Planet.
Ah.